Which team will be eliminated? Which team lives to fight Geelong at the G next Friday night? West off the target. He did Maxwell in the one-on-one. Forced to do it on the left, and he did it with great style. Both the skipper goals. And a little bit of anger just creeping in here at the moment. Schultz with a big one over the top. 3 goals in 3 minutes to rip this one wide open. Shaw has shown the footy and hit Monfries in the head. Wingard from 50. Has it got the wheels? Yes, it has. Wines from 50 metres out. Gee, that's a mammoth kick. That's not the right boat. It's a goal. Wines. He's kicked the goal. This time he's got it. Wingard will run into an open goal. Have they won their way through? Koch out of his seat. What an upset. Wowee. Port Adelaide have won. They've beaten the red-hot favourites in Collingwood and they've advanced to play Geelong.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. It was one of 3 upsets last weekend, and for everyone bar Collingwood supporters, it was an unbelievable night at the MCG. The Port Adelaide Football Club this time last year were rudderless, a basket case with just 5 wins and finished 14th position on the ladder. One of the pivotal appointments was that of the chairman. He has been good enough to join us tonight. Please welcome David Koch. First of all, Koshy, thank you so much for making yourself available tonight. We know you've got commitments with Channel 7, of course, but it's
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
How did you feel sitting back just watching that play on there? I would imagine you've done some great things in your life, but that would be hard to top, I'd imagine.
This last year has been magic. I've loved every minute of it, and last weekend I was so nervous because I just wanted us to perform well so that we could earn respect in the competition to say we deserve to be there. If we got blown away, would have been accused of, hey, they just fell into it, they didn't deserve it. And at half-time, Koch Cardone, who's our Melbourne director, I said to Koch, mate, no matter what the score, we've had a win here because that first half we showed we deserved to be there. And then 10 minutes into the third quarter, Collingwood kicked 3 straight goals. We looked at each other and went, here we go. They're going to tear the heart out of us. And the guys stood up and it was just sensational. Great to be part of.
It was very good. Now, David, very exciting, but Mrs. Koch was very excited too. We've got some footage of her. Go Koshy, go Koshy. How good is that? Here she goes. Go Koshy, go Koshy. Did she do that at home a bit?
Well, we've been married 34 years. She's a very excitable person, love of my life, obviously, and has been so supportive this year because it's taken a lot of commitment. And she and Pat Thomas, Keith Thomas, the chief executive, sitting next to her, then his wife, they're both characters, and they were just pumped.
You should give Sam some marriage advice. 34 years, wonderful effort.
I don't suppose you could have done it without the players, David, but how did you do it yourself? I mean, strategies, procedures, directions.
Sam, it's just about building good people and putting them in key positions. Keith Thomas is a sensational chief executive. We brought Amanda Vanstone onto the board, Cos onto the board as our Melbourne director, and the appointment of what I call the 3 amigos, Ken Hinkley, Alan Richardson and Darren Burgess, have transform the culture of the group. My view is, in any organisation, culture eats strategy any day, and we have such a strong culture there now, driven by Ken. He's a fantastic coach, but I think more importantly, he's a great leader of young men. He's a mentor, and look, these players, my kids are the same age, and you know they're great footballers, they're role models, but they're buffy young blokes. They need mentors and people to look up to. And Ken and Alan in particular are 2 guys that young blokes look up to. And I want these guys in 20 years' time to look back at their time at Port Adelaide and say, that experience moulded me into the man I am.
That's all we've got time for tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to say. I'm going to say. Let's hope.
Doesn't this go 3 hours?
Let's hope
Let's
you don't get belted by the cats, or this is going to sound a bit silly.
Got the real look of a man who's done this before. Unbelievably tough job, the president of a footy club, Koch. So I think you've been fantastic. But let me ask you this: when it was first announced, a lot of sceptics said your Sydney residence was going to cause you to be unable to do the job properly. It wouldn't appear from the outside like that's caused you one hiccup.
No, well, you know, it's like the David Gingell sort of lives in Sydney and manages you. He has a good chief executive based in Melbourne. As an organisation, we're no different to that. You use technology, video conferencing, you travel a bit. So
let me read this.
No, I've got to say, not everyone's
an issue.
Let's read this on your appointment, or the announcement of your appointment. It's a robust industry, as television is, but footy especially. This is from a former president of a club. The appointment of David Koch of Channel 7 fame as president of the Port Adelaide Club is an insult to good governance. Nothing against David personally, but he lives and works in Sydney. Now, who said that?
Well, would that be Jeffrey?
It was Jeffrey. It was Jeff Kennett.
Yeah.
So what did you think when you heard that? I mean, there were plenty of people that wanted to take a shot at you.
Oh, absolutely. But you just get on and prove them wrong. That's all you do. I love rebuilding things. I love building things. I love being part of teams that, you know, I'm very involved in organ transplants, and the Organ Transplant Authority is my other love. Helped build that from nothing. So I just really enjoy this sort of thing.
Kochie, can I ask you this? Because on-field tends to be...
Sam hasn't over the organ transplant.
Are you a registered organ donor, Sam?
I'm in need of an organ that works.
You should be. And if you talk to your family,
if they can locate an organ that works, I'm in.
And it's not pickled.
We tend to get transfixed with what happens on the field because it's a winning industry, and what's happened on the field for the club's been great this year. How's it off field? You were in all sorts of trouble 12 months ago. Huge debt, needed a bailout from the AFL. How's that looking, the business side?
Look, it's going to take a while. There's no doubt about that. If you look at the business cycle of a club, the lead indicators are memberships, which are above 40,000 for the first time. Merchandise, which we cracked over $1 million for the first time in years. Home attendances are up the highest in the league, and television viewing. So, like the big corporate sponsorship, sort of selling season is the off season, as you know.
Success breeds success.
But we had nothing to offer last off season. This off season, going into Adelaide Oval, which is going to be a sensational facility. So come and see us at home. Travel to Adelaide and have a great weekend. That will all come. It'll take a while. We're certainly not in great financial shape.
Charging in the right direction, which is great. And a win on the weekend would make it even better.
Very quickly, before we let you go, Ken Hinkley knocked you back the first time. Is that true, or is that one of those stories?
Because we were talking to more senior coaches. There's sort of... and he... didn't really want to move his family from the Gold Coast. Very family-oriented. Tom Harley, who was on our coaching selection panel, along with David Park and Schwab and the like, Tom said right from day one, he said, mate, Ken Hinkley is the only coach you should be talking to. But Ken, you know, was enjoying life on the Gold Coast, and it was a big decision. He's still got a daughter who lives on the Gold Coast. His son's moved to Adelaide, so his family's been split. But... probably the best decision this club has made in 20 years.
Anyone from the Crows, the president, anyone from their side rang you up and wished you well, or was it just war?
No. Rob Chapman and I took a lot. We've got big decisions in, like our licence is going to be transferred. We're both going to
Are they wishing you
Adelaide
well
Oval.
for the game or not?
Yes, Rob is.
Nonsense.
Hey, Kochie, we think it's a brilliant story. Port Adelaide is a wonderful footy club with, I think, the most successful, along with East Fremantle Football Club in the country. Something like 36 premierships, SANFL and AFL. Is an extraordinary club, and what you've done, all of you, to get to the point you have is magnificent. Well done, good luck.
Thank you very much.